we're going to talk more about our energy and our alignment and the energetics behind selling. Now, this is all this is the day in this program where I wanted to save for last because it's really important that you hear everything else before you dive into this. This is something that maybe you haven't thought about before. That today's topic, it's something that maybe is new to you. It's something that you haven't thought of before in terms of selling or in business. And so I really want to, lay the foundation and the feelings around our selling and things like that before we dive into the energy behind it. I will also say that today's work is by far the most important. This is the work that we need to do in order to be comfortable with selling, comfortable with sales, and in order to make the money that we desire. Okay? So, we really need to be in touch with how we come across as salespeople, how we believe in, how we show up in our business, the things that we believe around our business. All of those things they all play such an important role in how we come across as salespeople and how we sell. So if we're showing up as like really low energy, if we're showing up with like zero faith, zero passion in anything that we're doing, we're not going to be attracting people to buy from us. Okay? And this is why I always say that the mindset work, the energy work, the where you're coming from with your message work, that's the work that moves the needle. Okay? Because you can write as many sales scripts as you want. You can pitch to as many people as you want. But if you are not aligned and your energy and your thoughts and your beliefs around selling are not in a good, positive place, that does not matter what you do. It will not make a difference. Okay? So we need to prioritize your relationship with selling. Okay? This needs to be the most important thing, especially if it's something that you feel like you have negative beliefs around. So on day 1 or day 2, I went through a list of maybe some limiting beliefs that you may have around selling. I'm going to go through those again today, and we're going to talk about how to flip that perspective, because it's really important to understand not only our, our, our beliefs and where those are holding us back, but then how do we remove that belief and what do we start believing in ourselves? We have to understand as well that we manifest or we create the clients that we believe we will attract. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. We manifest or we create and we attract the clients that we believe that we will attract. So, in other words, if you're sitting around saying, these prices are too high, no one's going to buy it, everybody's going to ask for a discount, more than likely you're going to be you're going to find that people are going to think that your prices are too high. It's just the way it works. We attract people that we think we attract, that we think about. Okay, if we want to attract that high-end person, and we put our prices out there, we're confident in that, then we're going to find people that are going to pay that. Okay, you need to find the proof. My mentor was just telling me this as well. Excuse me, I need a drink. You need to be able to go out and find the proof that you're looking for. You need to be able to surround yourself with people that are doing what you desire to do. So if you're desiring to charge more money, then go find somebody in your niche or your industry that is charging more money. And you can see that people are buying from them. And therefore, the client that you desire exists. So we have to stop limiting ourselves around the people that are coming to us. If we have beliefs that no one's going to buy, if we have beliefs that our prices are too high, all of those things affect us as salespeople. This is the number one, the most important thing that you can do in your business is have a really good, positive relationship with selling. Okay, so when you're first starting out and you're you have these limiting beliefs and this energy around where you're coming from with sales. There are some things that you can do that will get you in a good energetic state before you sell. So I was literally telling one of my one-on-one clients, she really liked selling through DMs. And so she said she really wanted to do like 3 or 4 DMs, send 3 or 4 DMs a day. And she said, but after a while it became laborious. It became really labor intensive, and it was just like one more thing I had to check off my to-do list. And I was like, well, listen, you can have the goal of sending out that many DMs each day. That's totally fine. But you need to do it from a place of fun, of passion, of good energy. If you're showing up and you're just, copy paste, send it, okay, fine, it's done, thank God. The person on the other end of that is going to receive that with the same energy. See, sales is not just a transaction of money. It's not just a financial transaction. It's also an energetic transaction. So if you're selling from a place of, I hate doing this. If you're selling from a place of, oh my God, I need the money. If you're selling from a place of lack or scarcity of any kind, we do not sell. You need to understand where your energy is coming from. Okay? So you need to do some work around your beliefs about what you're selling and how you're selling it. So I was reading a book that was incredibly insightful, and the author of it said something like, before you go on a sales call, or before you're sending out your DMs, or however you're doing your sales, before you do that, meditate. Get in a really good energetic place. Meditate. Think about the power that your service or your product provides. Think about the transformation. Get really, really clear on that. It doesn't need to be long, 5 minutes, and then go and do it. Go and sell. Go and have the conversation. Go and send the DM. And see how much different the response is when you are in energetic alignment with it. Okay? Now, there's some things that we just automatically think of as business people, as entrepreneurs, and as women. And one thing is that we think when we are going into a conversation that we are gonna mess up, or we're gonna say something wrong, or that we're come across as awkward or salesy or whatever. We have fear that we may come across as X, Y, Z. Okay, so we have to remember that we have these two parts of ourselves: our ego, which is like our lower self, and then we have our higher self. Okay, and so we need to really get in touch with our higher self before we go and sell. Okay, remember, our ego is going to be there. Okay, we're human beings. It's a human thing to have this problem with our ego, or with when they come up with fears and doubts and rationalize things and talk us out of things. That's just our ego doing its job. Okay, so you have to remember that we are all going to have that. We are human beings, but only, and remember this whenever you are becoming nervous or selling, only our ego cares how we come across to people. Only our ego cares. And so when we stop and we're just like, you're right, that person doesn't care. That person that I'm talking to doesn't care how I'm coming across. They want to hear about what I have to say. And we take all of the pressure off. Our ego is the one who cares. Our higher self doesn't. Our higher self wants the transaction to go through, and not be out of greed, and maybe it's for money, because you love the feeling, the transaction of that. That's fine. But it's also because our higher mind loves to have good energetic transactions with people. They love our higher power, our higher selves loves to share what we have to share. Our higher self loves selling. I love talking to people about what I do. And when I can tap into that and just like flow, it's just conversation. And of course, how much does it cost comes up. Of course that comes up. But it's like, oh, it's $750 a month. And then it's just more conversation. Think about that. Think about when you're really in a conversation of just flow, when you're really tapping into your higher self. We love that. That's selling. That's all it is. That energy. It's our ego that says you're not good at this, you're going to come across as salesy, you're going to be pushy, you're going to take something from them. That's all ego. It's just doing its job of keeping us safe. But you literally cannot be nervous about selling if your attention is solely on the person, solely on the customer, and about the benefit of your product or service. Think about that. If you are truly tapped into the transformation, you're truly tapped into your higher power, higher self, you cannot be nervous because it's only beneficial, right? It's only good can come of this. Selling is actually a win-win situation across the board. Because of the financial exchange, we think I'm taking, right? We're taking from somebody. But instead, we're actually giving to that person an opportunity. We're giving them a service. We're giving them the ability to evolve. Whatever you're selling, we're giving them something to be better. Physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, we're giving that. So be clear when you're selling. Remember, when you're meditating or you're thinking or you're journaling before that sales conversation, get really, really clear on what that benefit is. How are they going to benefit from this physically? How are they going to benefit from this spiritually? How are they going to benefit from this financially? Go there. Okay, fine. They have to invest $1,000, but what in return are they getting financially? I mean, some things like selling this bed, right? You're like, okay, it's $1,000 mattress. Well, in return, they're getting a better night's sleep, sleeping better. That person is going to be more focused, more motivated, more ambitious, like just have more energy to do what they do to make money. There's always a tie to finances. It can always be better for them. And so when we're only focusing on the benefits of what that client is going to get, when we're focused on that, which is really, remember, it's really easy to do that when we're tapped into our higher self because we truly believe in whatever it is we're selling. We know the benefits of it. Then we can't be nervous. We can't be nervous. It's a complete energy shift. We're taking the focus off of ourselves. We're taking the ego out of it, out of the equation completely. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you mess up or you say the wrong thing or whatever. Nobody cares. And we're just only focused on, oh my gosh, think about how cool this would be if I could transform this woman's life or this person's life. There's nothing bad about that situation. There's absolutely nothing bad about it. So think of the energy shift that you are allowing. Think about the benefits for this person. Okay? So your beliefs, remember, your beliefs will affect your energy around selling. Your energy is much, if not more, a part of the exchange as the money is. Okay, so sometimes we get trapped in this, like, we're taking money from them. I'm taking something from them. Sure. That's your win. That's your win. But they get a win too. They get a win too. And when you're selling a service like coaching or mentorship, you're helping them evolve. You're helping them understand that there's work that can be done to be better, to be be the most amazing person. Not that they're not amazing now, but like, let's be the most amazing version of ourselves. Let's work through this stuff. Let's get our mind right. Let's be in it. That is, in my mind, priceless. And so you're helping them realize that. You're helping them realize that there's this transformation that you're able to provide. The other thing to do is to shift your energy around the ultimate decision. So when we go into a sale, we aren't aiming for a yes. Okay? Stop aiming for the yes. I love this. Instead of aiming for a yes, let's start aiming for a decision. Okay? If it's a yes, wonderful. Win-win, right? If it's a no, equally as wonderful. The woman who wrote the book I was reading said this. This is a gift, okay? This is a gift. You get to learn something from this situation. Okay? You get to look back on this conversation or this interaction with somebody as a gift. What did you learn? Did you do something really well? Is there room for change? Can you change things? Can you be a little bit flexible with your approach? What can you do better next time? You get to go back and learn from this no. And if we start looking at these things that we title failures as learning lessons instead, then we don't ever fail. In fact, sometimes you start looking for the no just so that you can start tweaking and getting better and better and better. And then the yeses just are everywhere. So when we're really in alignment with that and we're understanding that, okay, this conversation, whatever, it doesn't matter. If I end it with a yes or I end it with a no, it's awesome. That takes so much pressure off. That takes so much pressure off, and it makes it really fun. Because now, not only is the yes a win-win situation, but a no is a win-win situation. Let's start thinking like this when we go in approaching sales. So I want to just go back to our bad sales techniques that we talked about last week and start flipping them into new beliefs so that you can start planting new stories around these, okay? So the first one we talked about was maybe you think you're harming someone, right? We said maybe they can't afford it, maybe they don't need it. Well, instead, let's start thinking you're helping someone. You're helping someone gain a result that they couldn't without you. We're not hurting anybody. We're not taking anything from them. We're giving them an opportunity to get a result that maybe they wouldn't have gotten without us, or maybe they just wouldn't have gotten as quickly without us, right? So we're changing that. Let's change that story. All right, the other belief we've talked about is that it's about us, like we're really greedy. I have to be like really on point with my message. I have to have some kind of charm. Maybe I'm being a little bit manipulative. Remember, sales is all other oriented. Take your ego out of it. Remember, your higher power, your higher self loves selling, loves talking about this opportunity, loves talking about it. Otherwise, what are you doing? Like, what are we in this for? So be other oriented. When we start getting nervous, take a step back. Think about the benefits we're providing for this person and get really excited. Okay? Maybe we thought we had to be aggressive and do the hard sell and the high pressure sales environment and all of that. Instead, let's think, if you have to pressure or you have to convince or you have to use force, then you're not doing it right. It should be easy and fun. Once again, your higher self loves selling. Let them take the lead. It's literally the feeling of, I am just like stepping into what I'm meant to do. It's the flow state. Like this comes so easily. Selling is easy. Making money is easy. We talked about the belief that selling is something that can't be taught, that you're just like a natural salesperson. Maybe you think oh, I'm introverted, I can't talk to people. Instead, think this is a skill set that can be learned, it can be taught, it can be uh, remember, if we get a no, then we get to learn from that no. So let's flip this belief, this limiting belief that I'm really bad at selling, I'm an introvert, I hate talking to people, into, well, this is something I need to practice and something I'm learning about and that I'm going to be better at and becoming better at. Maybe you've just had really bad experiences with a car salesman, or you get really, annoyed with direct messages and cold calls. Remember, it doesn't matter what tactic or what vehicle you use to sell, whether it be DMing or cold calling or whatever you like to do, however you like to sell, it doesn't matter. Just step into your strengths. Use your strengths, whatever that is. If you enjoy getting on Instagram stories, then do that. If you enjoy writing a really well-crafted email message, then do that. It doesn't matter how you sell, it just matters that you're doing it that's in a way that feels really good, right? You want your energy to match the exchange that you hope to have in return. Okay? So we want to, just to restate and recap today, we want to make sure that before we're selling, we understand we're not coming from a place of lack or scarcity or fear or doubt, and we have a really good understanding, we're really clear of the benefits and the transformation that we're offering. When we do that and we understand that there's no way that there's no way that a sale can be a failure. We always, if it's a no, it's not a failure. We get to learn. We get to learn how to be a better salesperson. We get to learn how to do better at it. And so by doing all of that, getting really aligned with it, there's absolutely no way that we can be bad. There's no way that it can be a scary situation. We cannot be nervous if we feel really good about where we're coming from and what we're selling. Okay? It's all about the energy in which we do it with. Think about it as in terms of this. If you were on the consumer end of, or the receiving end of it, and somebody were to come to you and just be like, you need this, it's really great, you're not going to buy it. Or my example with the girls on my porch with the books, and they were just so pushy and not transparent and just, oh my gosh, so much. Well, I didn't want to buy it. But like when my mentor came and she DM'd me and she was just like, this just feels right for you. And I was like, well, I have a million questions. And she answered all the questions. And I was just like, yes, this feels right. Yes, was it scary? A little bit. But if you're doing it with the right energy, then the person buying will just accept. There won't be hurdles because they feel you, they feel your authenticity, they feel all of those good things. I think it's really fun to think about the fact that if we go into a sales conversation or a selling conversation and we get a no, that can still be a win for us. That's amazing. If we start thinking about this as that, then there's no way we can be a bad salesperson. We can only look at it as, I can become better. And that's where we are going to stop for today.